Welcome back, Chrono Troops, to more Smite Assault, with your boy Chrono Kitty here, bringing you the best Smite Assault content. Today, I'm going to be playing Xbal, and I am going to be starting tank into this enemy team comp. The enemy players have two really strong tanks, and I am going to be going tank because our team doesn't have a tank. Right off the top, I'm going into a Heartward Amulet and a Sigil to help my team. It's going to give me magical protections and give me an aura that's going to give my team both magical protections and MP5. So it's going to hopefully allow them to build more damagey and not have to worry, at least in the early game, about MP5. So my squad consists of two really good mages, really bursty mages, a really strong hunter, and a really strong assassin, and me. I am Xbal. I am a pretty decent ability-based hunter. And the enemy team has two really strong, damagey physical tanks, warriors, who are going to be a massively big problem. Because as tanky as I am, they will always be better tanks. They have really good CC that they can rinse repeat. I have my ult, which arguably isn't even in the same category. It is it's one of the best CCs in the game because it blinds the enemy players, but is not going to do much on a consistent basis because it takes so long for me to get it back up. So right off the top, the enemy players already have two finishes on us, but we are slowly making that up with some big damage from our side. I expect us to be able to do a lot of damage early game, but the enemy team definitely has the mid game and most definitely has the late game. They are just going to do so much more damage to us. Those tanks are going to come online. Ooh, and we just got two more finishes off the enemy team as well. So 230 is when this side buff comes up. I'm over here so we can get that as soon as it comes up, basically to keep it from the enemy team. Since they are tankier, they're going to have a much easier time getting position than us. So they're going to have a much easier time getting those buffs, being in position so that their allies can be in better position to get finish on my allies. And I don't want them to be able to do that. So I'm going to be trying to balance my role of being a tank by being constantly between the enemy and my allies, because the way my aura works is I have to be within a certain distance of my allies. I believe 70 units for them to get that bonus magical protection and that MP5. The Hachiman doesn't necessarily need the MP5 too much. He gets it from his passive, which he stacks off of basic attacks. But everyone else is going to need that. As you can see here, because of me and because of his passive, he is probably always going to be full of MP5. So in the back there, they have that buff. They should grab that. Let's see if we can do anything here. That Surtr coming in, and looks like they are just going to save that for when we need it most. Really good play on their part. And we currently, surprisingly enough, are currently up 4 kills on the enemy team. We have turned our loss of 2 in the early game and turned it around, and now are currently in an 8-5 with in our favor against the enemy team. So I'm going to ult to help get our Hachi out of there. On the left here, we have our Raijin being pressured out, so I'm going to kind of go in and help him. The buff over there is coming up, which I need to stay out here for my squad, for my center squad. So I'm going to walk over to the Hachi to get a few ticks of that heal that he's bringing to us, and now we can push again, push the enemy team out a little bit. Now, the enemy team is going to be really difficult to play against because those tanks are just going to allow them to allow their allies to stand wherever they want. Am I not dead? I'm not dead. No, I'm alive. They didn't finish me there. So let's go ahead and grab this now, because now I need it badly. Tank needs food badly. And now the Yu Huang is going to get the finish on the Raijin there. The Surtr's ulting under tower. You should see him use this ability a lot, because that is going to be one of the bread and butter ways Surtr is able to drop these little minions, imps, where when he ults, and those are going to actually allow his... Oh, yeah. So, first death, not bad. Almost 6 minutes in, and that they were finally able to get me. So, I think I'm going to go with a Contagion here to give me physical defense. That's the Sun Wukong finished me off. He is a physical warrior. So this will help me against those physical gods of the enemy team, being Surtr, Sun Wukong, and the Martichoras. And it has 3 different effects on it. It's going to give me physical defense. It has anti-heal built on as an aura, so I have to stay close to those enemy gods to stack that debuff on them, as well as when I'm CC'd, it's going to do magical damage to the enemy players with that centered on the god who actually gave me the CC. That god is going to have an aura item on them for about, I think, 3 seconds that will basically tick damage to themselves and any gods around them. So I'm the tank. I'm coming around the corner to help out. So just the 2 mages are here right now. That's really good position for me and my allies to be able to push up and get them, but they smartly backed out. The enemy tanks are pushing up. There is the Surtr. I think he's trying to figure out whether he wants to go under tower or not. He decided against it, maybe because he was low and those imps came down, but we were able to finish them off fairly quickly. I'm going to go ahead and ult and see if I can get some help, get some finish off of this Tiamat. I dashed it in front of him, and the Agni was able to finish him off. So now we are pressuring out the enemy team. It's currently a 5v4 in our favor. The Tsukuyomi ulted, trying to do something here, and unfortunately we did get a finish on the Sun Wukong. Unfortunately, we were just kind of fighting tanks there. The enemy, more squishier players kind of backed up under tower, and we were able to get the finish on the Yu Huang as well. So now it is a 5v2. Where is this Surtr? Surtr, where are you? I know you're in here. So, okay, there you are. And so I am going to 2-3 him. Hopefully we can get a finish on him. But now he's backing up. And we did get a finish. The Agni dove a little bit and dropped his ult on him to do big damage. We are so low, but we are doing great in fights. We're getting a lot of finish. We are currently 18-7, and my entire team was pushed back. I didn't realize they were standing where they were standing. If they were up a little bit more, they could have got a finish on that, on one of them. The Martichoras was low, and there was another low god as well. But unfortunately, they were going back. And now, just with one small mistake, 3 of us are down, and now we're in a 2v5. And nicely done. The Hachiman snuck around the back and got a finish on the Tiamat there. And now now it's time for the Tsukuyomi to get finished on his god. Unfortunately, he got finished as well. I'm currently up. I'm a little bit further up than the Raijin. The enemy players are trying to take down that tower. They've been working on this tower for a long time. We currently have their first tier tower down, and are currently working on we're working on their second. And there is the Surtr coming in, dropping his imps, allow his allies to get in. I want them out of this tower. So I think what I'll do is I'll just dash and try to do some damage to this Yu Huang to try to push him out, thereby allowing my teammates and allies to focus on those other gods. The Surtr is down. The Son of Wukong is trying to get out of this, waiting for his dash. He got his dash there, but I have my dash. Not that I do a ton of damage, but let me try to keep him here long enough for Agni to finish him off. This is going to CC me and do damage to the Tiamat. So I'm just going to stand in that. Unfortunately, the Tiamat was able to get the finish off on the Hachiman and then dive the two back members of my team. Hopefully they can finish him off while I was trying to hold off the other two. Hopefully long enough for him to get finished. Yes, the Agni got finished off on the Tiamat. Now the Tsukuyomi has dove the Martichoras. Let's see if I can help him out by staying close to him, by debuffing the Martichoras, and unfortunately the Yu Huang got me there with a stun finish. But if that was the case, that was the stun finish, then he should be also taking some magical damage as well for a few ticks. The next item I have is Oni Hunter's Guard, which will give me damage mitigations. My starter item, my Sigil, also gives me damage mitigations, so stacking those damage mitigations. So in addition to physical and magical protections, damage mitigations reduces all damage I take from all sources. So having 2 mitigation items against this enemy team composition is going to be critical for me being able to be a tank against them. The next item I want to go for, I have the tier 1 of it built there, is going to be Mystical Mail. That is going to help me stack more physical damage or physical protection against the enemy team. And then once actually at tier 2 it does this as well, just at tier 3 version of it does more damage. It's going to give me aura damage against enemy gods. It actually does magical damage to enemy players that are within a certain distance of me. So right now I have Contagion when they CC me that can do damage, and Mystical Mail at the 2nd tier that does magical damage, and everything is providing me with protections as well, and giving also my team some. Oh, there's the Surtr coming in. I'm going to ult, so hopefully he can't see really well, so he can't plan his drop really well, and the enemy team can't really plan their escape. I do have my dash, so I'm going to go ahead and dash out now and get back under tower so that we can take this fight. There is the Sun Wukong. What is this man doing? He just dove under tower. This is the things tanks can do, and why this makes this such an uneven fight. The enemy team can just keep coming under tower and pressuring us very safely and still be getting out. Our Hachiman is currently down. So is the enemy Yu Huang though, but we currently are down 2 players, our Hachiman and our Raijin. The Surtr is trying to do something to me there. I am almost at no health. I really need this buff back here so I can push up and help out our Tsukuyomi, but he doesn't need it. He just wants me to grab that so I can push up. I'm going to go ahead and do that, so hopefully we can get some good finish on the enemy players. Got the finish on the Tsukuyomi there. Let's go ahead and sandwich the Tiamat so we can get some finish on him, and that is going to basically force him to dash out, and then now I'm going to, oh nice, get some finish on him as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take this buff. This is the buff that the bubble that comes up periodically gives me a little bit of more aura base damage on enemy gods and enemy minions. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. We are really low. The Martichoras really wants to finish me off, but I am a lot tankier than he gives me credit for. I want the Tsukuyomi to come over here so I can share this with him. He did, and now we're both just a little bit more healthier. Left buff is up, but the enemy team is pushing up, so I do not have the ability to go for it at the moment. So because I had to stay with my team to provide them with damage, or with that aura protections. The Wukong is in, and pressured, just again dove under the tower to kind of. And here comes the Tsukuyomi as well. Let's see if I can do anything here to him and kind of basically punish him for coming under tower. And we were able to, with the help of several allies, we were able to get the Tsukuyomi down. That was a really good play on his part. He just didn't think that we would be able to survive through all the damage that he was going to do, and he thought he was going to be able to get away. So now I have enough to go to get finished Mystical Mail. I also have enough for Amulet of Silence or Amulet of the Stronghold. Stronghold is going to be the better choice, much better choice, because with the more physical protections I have, it's going to provide me 15% of my physical protections to my magical protection side. And that allows me to give me more options for items that I have. So my last item could be any item. If it's magical protection, if it's dual protection, if it is physical protection, it's still going to give me some amount of magical protections, depending on which protection item that I go with. So I am kind of still deciding what's going to be the best thing, whether it's going to be Pridwin, which could provide me dual protections and give me some much needed cooldown. Breastplate would give me more physical protections and provide me cooldown and MP5. Not that I really need MP5. The enemy team is definitely struggling with getting this tower. I'm going to ult to try to keep them out from under tower. As you can see there, they kind of pushed back a little bit while my ult was up. The Surtr ran in, and we were able to get finished for it. So again, enemy players playing exactly the way they should be playing, but we are just kind of bamboozling them a little bit on their play style and not allowing them to play like they want to play. Basically making what should be a good fight for them a bad fight, and monopolizing on our good fights, which are really few and far and in between. So we are better at just turning their fights. So what the good fights for them are going to be, that they think are going to be good fights, is going to be when a single tank goes in and 1v5s and can get away. And that just, I'm ensuring that just doesn't happen. When they come in, I am either pushing them away, and yeah, I was worried about that. I just had 2 low of health to be tanking 1 more Phoenix shot, and that's what got me. So now we're going to upgrade to, well, we don't actually, yeah, we do have enough for the next sigil. So we could have gone with infused sigil or the other sigil, but infused sigil is going to give us more damage. So every time we are hit by an ability, at 5 abilities we explode, and that's going to do 600 physical damage to enemies within 30 units of me. I'm not sure what my next item is going to be, but I'm thinking Sovereignty is going to be the play, because it is going to provide me with the most physical protection, which is going to give me the most magical protections as well. And it will provide another buff to my allies to give them physical protection in addition to the magical protection that I'm already providing them as well. So I think that's going to be the play. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of pots. So I have plenty of healing potions. I have currently 7. I'm just going to be burning through those, just trying to play this tank role that I'm currently in. Very difficult. Let's go ahead and ult to see if we can help out my team members there that are currently pushed up. I'm really hoping to get my Tsukuyomi out, but he was able to get a finish off on the Martichoras, but he did go down, unfortunately, as well. So that's 6s, I think, in this case. So right now, the Tiamat is the only one that's up here. Him getting the finish off on the one really was kind of a good play. Me and the Raijin can back up under tower. I'm going to wait for them to dive tower, and then, since they don't really know I'm here, and then I will push up behind them and maybe hopefully get a 2-3 combo on them. really kind of confuse them, and hopefully then allow my Raijin to finish them off. So the enemy players are kind of pushed up there at the tower line. They are going in now. We got 2 tanks and a mage in. I'm going to go ahead in 2. I'm going to go ahead in 3. I'm going to go ahead and heal. Oh, no. The Raijin already went down. So, yeah, no sense in wasting the heal then, unfortunately. Yeah, they just blew him right up. The Sun Wukong ulted. The Agni is trying to do work there. The Tiamat's low. The Tsukuyomi finished off the Tiamat and is pressuring out the enemy players. Let's go ahead and we just can finish here. The Surtr is now down, and I am just taking so much damage. I am so unhealthy, but me with all these different aura items, debuffing the enemy team and buffing my team, this is allowing us to do so much extra damage. I'm in a bad position here. I'm not sure if I can get out. We go ahead and try to juke until my 3's up. Not going to happen. Didn't think it was going to happen, but I had to at least try to juke until my 3 was up, which might have still not gotten me out anyway. But I had to give it a shot. The enemy players are diving. The Sun Wukong ulted to get his minion under tower in order for them to try to do some damage and take a second tower. Unfortunately, the Agni is just playing amazingly, just getting tons of finish, doing tons of damage, and unfortunately just went down there to the Martichoras. The Raijin got the finish though as well, and so did the Hachiman on the enemy Martichoras. The entire enemy team takes all of them to push us under tower. So as long as we have any objectives, we can fight under them. But as long as several of us are up, this is going to be a much more difficult fight for any one of us to try to defend an objective. Unless it's me, I think I could more easily defend an objective and keep enemy players out just because I am so tanky. Not that I do a ton of damage, although to be fair, my build is such that I have 3 different items that potentially do damage. I can actually do physical and magical damage based off the items I have and based on my abilities as well, which since I have 0 cooldown come up very infrequently. But that would enable me just to defend a little bit better than any one person on my team. Arguably, except for the the Hachi could potentially do a lot of high damage, and he has 2 different getaways. The Agni does such big damage. So again, my position was trying to sandwich the enemy players. Unfortunately, they ended up sandwiching me instead. My team just could not do enough damage to the enemy player that was behind me that dove past me to finish him, and so he was able to kind of wait for his team to push up and then for him to get a really good sandwich on us. Yeah, so again, really good strategies. They've been playing like that the whole game. It's really hard for my team to kind of pick those fights, to know when to go in, and then for me to be able to read what all my players are doing. Because we're not on comms or anything. This is just a pickup group. It's just kind of like the way I really prefer to play. It's really hard. It forces me to be a better player when I'm constantly playing against really good gods and playing really good team strategies. So that's kind of one of the techniques I use to become a better player. But unfortunately, that does lead to more difficult kind of planning with your team if you don't have. Yeah, they are chunky. These enemy tanks are crazy chunky, and that's what's making it really hard, because they are going past me and 1-on-4ing the rest of my team. Even though I'm holding the other 4 at bay, they're not able to do a whole lot of damage. So right now our Agni's down, our Raj is down, I'm up. I got another 10 seconds or so coming up on my before I come up, and our Hachiman's down, and our Tsukuyomi is not looking too healthy. Let's go ahead and upgrade my relic. I am currently up. We are in that situation I was referring to, where I'm being forced to go and ult, try to confuse them a little bit. I need to get these enemy players out of our Phoenix. So the more they stay around me, the more they see me, the more damage, the more abilities they do to me, the more damage they take. The Surtr is going to ult. I don't think he's too healthy. He's not, but he just ulted to try to get those minions under Phoenix. But it did not allow his team decided to just nope out. That was the smart play, especially with our Agni being up now, who is really good at big damage finish. So he is going to get the finish there on the Yu Huang. Really good. Call on him pushing up with me and pushing past me to get that. He is going to take that buff and allow us to hopefully do some more damage here. So now I'm doing tons of damage to this Surtr. I'm doing tons. Is this Surtr going to... I might have to 3 in order to finish him off. Let's go ahead and finish him off to get that finish so I can just go out here and help that Agni, who is now taking a Martichoras ult. And yeah, so that unfortunately took him down. The Sun Wukong had to Aegis, but also went down. The Martichoras is low. He's getting low, and he's going to get the finish on me, but our Hachiman is going to, in turn, get the finish on him. So all in all, great fight. 2 of us are up to only the enemy Tiamat. That's going to allow us to potentially, if possible, push under tower. The Hachiman is who we want up to be able to take the tower. If he can somehow get in with minions, like there, he's going to be able to do a ton of damage. And depending on how long he can stay in, yeah, unfortunately now he's getting pressured out, and he's taking a ton of damage from the enemy mages. So if you want to think of this as like rock, paper, scissors a little bit, the mages take down hunters. Hunters can take down tanks if they're built to do so, and tanks can take down mages. So that is that's really a broad way of putting it. There are cases where that's not the case across the board. That's typically the way most games are going to go, or that's who is going to do well against that typically type of gods. So I'm going to push up over here with our team. The Surtr is just going to ult in. Yeah, that is just crazy. They just kind of pushed up. I'm going to try to help my team get position, get some, basically as we retreat, allow us to do some damage to them, because in order for the enemy team to win, they still have to take our objectives. So they still have to push to us. The same goes for us to them, but I want to make things as difficult for them as possible, making them fight at their least most advantaged placement, and allowing my team to fight at their most advantaged placement. So the fact that we took down both enemy tanks puts us in a very advantaged spot, because now we can push around the rest of the enemy players, which is going to be the 2 mages. That's going to be their squishiest players. So we can now push them up. We can, or I can, just walk under the Phoenix and take those hits so that we can get the Phoenix out. See what they're doing right here? They're just backed up. They're letting us have this for free because they know if they step up, we are going to end them. I am going to take that intentionally. I could have 3'd out of it, but I want him to take that free damage, and the Tiamat is going to get the finish off on the Hachiman there. Probably dove in and dropped his kit to get the finish. I have my 3 up, so I'm going to 3 out there. The enemy players are going to push up. There's the Sun Wukong with the Zolt. He wants to probably jump on my head. Not sure if he got the hit on me there, but I'm going to punish him for it if I can. And the Yu Huang is going to go down again to the Agni, and I'm going to 3 out, dash around. I stayed in as long as I could. I'm constantly just kind of sitting at low health, trying to tank this Titan as best I can so that my team can get in here, get finished, and do damage to this Titan. My 3 is up again. I can take maybe another hit, yeah, and then I got a 3 out. And I'm currently just sitting at low health this whole time. We're doing what we can to do damage to this thing. I do no damage because I'm built tanky. But I'm trying. I'm trying. There is the Sun Wukong with his Bull Dash. The nice at one hit. The Agni is going to get finished off on the Surtr. I'm trying to heal him, but he's just a little too far away. And he's going to ult. And now here's the Tiamat as well. He is going to jump in and ult. He's going to get the finish off of me. So now the Agni is just in, and he is just trying to thread the needle to try to get some finish. The Hachiman dove past the Agni and got the finish off on the Tiamat. Good job, both of them. Good job, him going in. Got another finish on the Yu Huang. I think the Martichoras, is that who I saw that's low? The Martichoras got the finish, unfortunately, on the Hachiman, and our Agni got a finish off on him, but in turn was taken down as well. Probably was trying to also take down the Sun Wukong, which would have been great, but the Hachiman is trolling a little bit. That's a silly troll. Everyone knows he's being silly. The Agni was a boss there, kind of going in and staying alive as long as he could, getting as many kills as he did. I'm up now. Let's go ahead and ult to see if our Raijin can get out of that situation. Or maybe hopefully helping see if he can get finish or get out. Unfortunately, he went down to the Surtr. The Tsukuyomi is in. We have some really low health enemy players here, but they are the tanks. Let's go ahead and 3 to make sure that they can't easily get away. Let's push the Yu Huang out so that our Tsukuyomi can get the finish there on the Surtr. So that's what I'm talking about. That was a really good fight for them. It was a really good 3v1 fight. Me joining the fight, player 2 has entered the game, and then diving past the Surtr to kind of scare the low life Sun Wukong and the full life Yu Huang out of the fight, and then kind of pushing back so that that Surtr was getting those debuffs, and my ally was getting those buffs, allowed him to get that finish, and then keep the enemy team kind of sandwiched, or keeping him sandwiched between us. We want to monopolize on that and do that best as we can, and then not allow them to do that to us, which has happened a few times. But it's kind of a difficult, me trying to figure out my position. One of the hardest things to do, especially when you are not playing a tank, in the sense that I am playing a tank, but I'm playing a god that isn't a tank. I'm going to go ahead and ult and come in to hopefully allow my team to get some damage on this Phoenix, but the enemy Surtr ulted, and he is behind me. They are having such trouble fighting him, and they were not able to finish him off while I was keeping the entire rest of the enemy team, 4 players at bay. They didn't do much damage to him. They only got him down to about half life, and now they all have to retreat while I am currently down. The whole enemy team is currently up. It is a 5v4 situation, and since I am down, they are not going to have the ability to push the enemy team around unless they are able to get some more kills. The Sun Wukong did go down, but well, I guess eventually he was low. I think he was a little healthier when I was up. The enemy Martichoras is low. The Agni is monopolizing on those kind of low health enemy players and getting long range damage on them. Our allies are trying to go in to help him out to get that damage on him so that he can get in, and he is also going to go down as well. I'm currently up, but the Agni is being pressured under tower. I am now going to dash through, and we're going to get the finish off on the Surtr as well. The entire enemy team is currently down, and the Hachiman is giving props to the Agni again for, at low life, being able to defend against our last objective and kind of go in as well and get the finish off on the Surtr. So the enemy team is currently down. Me and Agni are currently pressured up all the way to enemy Phoenix. I'm going to go ahead and go under Phoenix. Oh, he's going to dash in now. Sorry, I didn't realize I thought you were going to chase the Sun Wukong. So I'm going to go ahead and take all these hits and see if we can do some damage here to the Phoenix. But no, the Martichoras ulted out the Agni, and now this is that situation. We are our Agni is totally sandwiched between the two enemy players, and they took him down. Now I am sandwiched between two enemy players, and I do not know if I'm going to survive. Unfortunately, for the enemy team, I was able to walk out, but now our Tsukuyomi tried to get an ult off on that Yu Huang and is going to miss. So we are currently in the situation where I am low, I can't play with my allies, and I now have to just grab a buff and 3 out. And yeah, the Agni is trying to keep the game going a little bit longer in order. I'm going to basically walk at the Raijin, because the enemy team was kind of chasing me there. If he could get his 2-1 combo off, that would have worked out really well. I am currently under Phoenix, and now trying to do a little bit of damage to the enemy team to push them out. Unfortunately, they were able to pressure me out and get the finish on me. So right now it's just the Tsukuyomi trying to do some damage to the enemy minions and enemy players and keep them out from under tower, and the Agni is trying to get some long range damage on the enemy team so that he can get some finish off on him. He did get a finish off on the mage Tiamat. And let's see if he's going to get the finish off on the Sun Wukong there that dove under Phoenix. He is currently a 1-hit, and the remaining players are currently running from him, and the Hachiman, who is currently at full life. The Agni is a 1-hit, but they don't want to be anywhere near him because he does so much damage. And the Yu Huang kind of pushed up a little bit and was taken out for it. I am currently up now, and the rest of our team is going to slowly come up. I'm going to go ahead and grab a defense potion and push up. Our Hachiman is currently down, which is quite the bummer because the enemy Phoenix is also now up. Let's see if I can help out the Agni with an ult, but he did get a finish off on the Martichoras, but he was also taken down in return as well. The Surtr is pressured up here and trying to do some damage to my ally, my mage here, which honestly is his best choice because that player has the least amount of health. The Tiamat is going to try to CC me here. I'm going to let him so he can take that much needed magical damage. Now there's the other tank, the Sun Wukong, again trying to pressure out the mage, and then I am going to push up and do some damage to him. The Tiamat is going to dash the low life Raijin and get a finish off on him. I'm going to go ahead and push up into and try to get our assassin to get him some help. He is going to do the ult. I think he ulted in. I am going to dash and unfortunately die for that as well. I was trying to get close to him so that he could get some finish. Our Agni got finish on the Tiamat as well as the Sun Wukong. My entire team is pushing up. The Yu Huang is out of position. He's sandwiched in. They should be able to get a finish off of him. The Hachiman did. The only individuals up are going to be the Surtr and the Martichoras, who is going to be, fortunately, the Martichoras is hiding in his little forest. But we have 3 players up right now. The Tsukuyomi went in and took a tower shot, and they are trying to pressure up. The Martichoras had to ult, but he's taking a lot of damage. The Tsukuyomi ulted and took him down. The only person up is the Surtr. It's going to take a few seconds to get around that corner, but in that time period, the Hachiman is going to be able to take him down. I am currently up. Let's go ahead and ult my team members so they can finish taking down that Surtr. And then now the only thing left between us and the win is the Titan. We have 3 of them up there, and they are just destroying that Titan. It's 83 to 59, folks, but that was no easy game. GG, girls and boys. That was a really great game. Every fight was really hard. It probably seemed as if it was easier than it was because we had such a lead. Got the GG from the Agni, and we're doing such a great job. Let's go ahead and give the enemy team. That's the most fun I ever had. That was the enemy Tiamat. So let's go ahead and GG, boys and girls, because the enemy team didn't get to see my comment. And then I'm going to say thanks for the carry to my squad, because they did all the damage that game. I just hope they realize I was helping them as being the best tank I could be. And yes, the Agni did notice. So that always feels good. I hope you really enjoyed that game. I know I did. And I want to, again, thanks for watching. And if you did enjoy that game, please give me a like and subscribe. As always, thanks again for watching, and have a great day.